Disclaimer. We believe, ultimately, that God's word is true and without error. We recognize that as high schoolers, we are still learning and can make errors. If you are questioning anything we say, study the scriptures and seek the truth. Welcome back to the Church Kids podcast, and today we're talking all about miracles. So we're gonna go over some of Jesus's miracles, and then we're just gonna go over some general questions about miracles. So, yep. What's the first miracle we're talking about? Dive right into it.
What is the first miracle we're talking about?
We should
Water
talk about
and
the
wine.
first one that Jesus did, which was the water turning into wine.
I just read about that in
Right?
John.
That was okay.
We're
So
doing great today, guys.
John 2:1. I'm gonna just start reading. On the third day, there was a wedding at Cana in Galilee, and the mother of I almost said monster, and the and the mother of Jesus was there. Jesus was also invited to the wedding with his disciples. When the wine ran out, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." And Jesus said to her, "Woman," imagine getting called a woman by your son. Woman.
Woman.
That would not go over.
It would not go well. Woman, what does this have to do with me? My hour has not come yet. His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Now there were 6 stone water jars there for the Jewish rites of purification, each holding 20 or 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water." And we filled them up to the brim. And he said to them, "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the feast." So they took it. When the master of the feast tasted the water, it now became wine. And I'm so bad at reading. I don't know why you guys make me do this. And did not know where it came from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew. The master of the feast called the bridegroom and said to him, "Everyone serves the good wine first. And when the people have drunk freely, then the poor wine." Gosh, I'm so sorry. But you have kept the good But you have kept the good wine until now. This the first of the signs Jesus did at Cana in Galilee, and manifested his glory, and his disciples believed in him.
Good job.
Cool.
That was really bad.
No, it wasn't.
What's fun?
You did good.
I shouldn't be entrusted with reading.
You did fine. Anyways, so was that are we sure that that's Jesus' first parable?
Parable.
Parable.
Miracle.
Yeah, it literally-
Are we sure that's Jesus'
Oh,
first
I think it
parable?
says the first
this
Because
the first of his signs.
I'm looking in Luke right now, and it doesn't show it. It just shows the first one in Luke is Jesus heals a man with an unclean demon.
But this
Does that
one
say
says
that it's
that
the
it's the
first?
first.
It doesn't
of his
say
signs.
it's the first. Does yours specific?
Yeah,
it's,
it
oh,
that's
says
what they're
this the
saying.
first of his signs.
okay. Can you say the reference one more time?
John 2:1 through 12.
Nice.
I didn't read 12 though. Sorry.
So John 3:1 through
12
11.
doesn't really pertain to the miracle.
That's okay. If
Yeah.
you guys want to, you can go read verse 12.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
It's just we're leaving you on the cliffhanger here.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna
So
go-
who wants to just recap it? Mac, recap it.
Okay.
Go for it, Mac.
So,
you got this.
so to recap, Jesus was at a wedding with his disciples and his family, and his mom comes up to Jesus and says that there's no more wine, that they've used all of the wine. And so Jesus goes to the cellar and turns water into the wine that they use for the rest of the wedding. Am I
Good
missing
job,
something?
Mac.
Am I missing
Sorry,
something?
we were laughing because my
No,
ankles
you missed
popped.
the part. You missed the part where
Wait, were
he
you
goes, "Oh,
whispering
woman, that's not my problem." That's basically what he said.
Oh, okay.
You're a
He's like,
woman?
That's not my
He
problem.
didn't say that's not my problem. He just said that his time to show them that he was the Messiah hadn't yet come. But apparently it had, so.
It says, "What does this have to do with me? Like that's not
No?
my problem."
Oh, wait. I forgot about that part.
So it's like the significance of this. I don't know. What's like the significance
Because
of
it's
this
the first
miracle?
one.
That he did.
But
It's
like,
like Jesus is blooming.
But like, is that the whole significance?
Well,
Like that it's just
it's
his first
crazy that
miracle.
he turned.
Jesus has
water
entered
into
his.
Okay.
wine.
Let's rewind a little bit and ask the question: what's the purpose of miracles?
Ooh.
Why are we so excited?
I feel like the purpose of miracles is to for Jesus to show that he was the Son of God. There may have been other purposes. I'm not really aware.
So, Got Questions says that miracles in the Bible demonstrate God's involvement in humans' lives. Their purpose is always to advance the kingdom of God in some way.
That sounds much
Yeah.
smarter than what I was thinking.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Huh?
It's okay if it doesn't sound smart. We like
Mine-
thoughts.
Well, I
Mine
didn't
says-
think it fully through though.
That's okay. Tell us
Oh.
what you thought.
Stop calling me out.
I'm just trying to
She's
get you
not.
to engage in discussion.
I am engaged now. I put the book away.
Where did it even go?
Oh.
Okay, so my thing says Jesus performed miracles to show his love, to prove he was the Messiah, and to invite people to believe in him. And I know it was the AI overview, but I agree with that.
AI, no, cut it. No, we don't trust AI
What?
here. So, like, how do we relate that to this specific miracle? So, God Question said, what the purpose of Jesus' miracles is to
Well, it's showing
expand the kingdom, right? Basically,
yeah, and it's
recap.
showing Jesus' involvement in our lives and how much he actually cares about us, and it just seems like a trivial thing like a wine at a wedding, but that was kind of important to them. So
I just had a thought. This could be extremely completely wrong, and probably is. But what if,
Yay, disclaimer.
you know how Jesus compares our relations to him like a bride and a groom, like the church and not us,
Uh-huh.
but like the church and him.
Mm-hmm.
It could be well, it's a wedding. So I don't know if it has anything to do with that. It just was a random thought that occurred to me. Maybe that's some kind of parallel. But probably not, just
Possibility.
because
I mean, it's
weddings
cool to think about.
are just things that happen too. So
They're just things.
it's like every wedding. Whoa, it's a sign.
That's a
I mean, it
sign,
is
that's a wedding,
honestly.
That's a
It's
sign.
but really, churches are this is not their only purpose of not churches, not churches, weddings.
Talking is hard today.
Yep, talking is hard. Weddings are this is not their sole purpose, but one of their purposes is to represent what the relationship between God and us looks like, or God and the church, I guess. I don't know. So I think Paul maybe compares it with the church, but I don't know if there's any spots in the Bible where it compares with us, like a bride and a groom. But that's one of weddings, marriage's representations. So really, any wedding is a sign when you think about it.
It is cool.
Wow.
You
You're
sound
welcome
so
for that little
impressed.
I don't know if I was listening.
Please.
Nah.
Wait, I was. Wedding sign Jesus.
Boom. Got it.
Exactly.
I
was basically.
What else do we have to say about this parable?
It's not
It's not
a
a parable.
parable.
You did the same thing.
Twice
But this
crazy.
miracle, they sound similar, okay?
Too many
They both end in "ol."
You're right. It's very easy to mix those two up.
I wonder,
Just like vegetable.
it's,
Yeah, that too, That's in the mix now. I'm gonna start calling miracles vegetables. Thanks for that, Mac.
You're welcome.
just in case you're wondering, why did Jesus turn water into wine? Because wine is
needed
viewed
it.
as kind of a bad thing in today's culture. Not always a bad thing,
Not in
but
the French.
in Jesus' culture, and not in Jesus' culture, in Jesus's time, which I guess he's.
I mean, they were drinking wine at the wedding.
I don't know
Yeah,
if Jesus
and they
has
were
a
also
time
getting
since he's
drunk.
kind of just infinitely.
But Jesus wasn't getting drunk because
That's a
what?
sin.
Yeah, so basically, it's not you're not not allowed to drink wine if you're a Christian, but you're just not supposed to get drunk
intoxicated.
or intoxicated. Yeah,
And the
So,
culture was just
he
different back
probably
then
had
too.
a little bit.
Jesus
You
was
know?
Well, he had wine at the Last Supper, so yeah.
Yeah.
He did have. Yeah.
But it was just like even not to get intoxicated, our culture just doesn't drink much wine. But that's just a matter of culture, how it was back then
And,
versus
well,
how it is now.
Elijah, our
Yeah.
culture drinks a lot of wine.
Oh,
What are you
okay, my
talking
bad. They probably did. Well, I don't know if they did drink more wine back then. Maybe.
People at like weddings today still drink wine and stuff. But,
Somebody
like,
look it up.
the
Did they drink
reason-
more wine in Jesus' time than now?
I feel like
And
we
put it
drink
in the
more of
comments,
other
please.
alcoholic
Guys,
things,
why are we
not
talking about this?
wine anymore.
Wait, can I say something?
No.
No.
Wait, I forgot what I was
That's why you can't.
Okay, I feel like that we drink a lot of alcoholic beverages, just not a lot of wine. You
But
know,
I think
Because,
people
like,
do.
Yes.
like
I like
champagne.
weddings. Wait,
and-
you drink wine, Mac?
Huh?
For alcoholic beverages?
Yes,
I didn't
yes,
say
yes,
that.
yes.
Yes. You're literally doing that. Like I did that.
I didn't do
Yes,
that.
I love
Underage
wine.
drinking
Mac.
question mark?
Is there something you need to confess?
No.
I mean, technically, if you go to like Russia, you could.
Probably.
Field trip.
The drinking age is also lower in Mexico.
So sometimes though people like don't drink wine because like Christians, even though like technically they like can, but because they don't want to like lead other people astray. So it's like really just depends on your personal conviction, and so like, yeah, if it'll make someone else who's like wants to become a Christian, like if it makes them confused, like wait a minute, why are you drinking wine? Like just if it's a stumbling block for someone else, guys, I'm not saying this very well. If it's a stumbling block for someone else, then you shouldn't really do it. But like if you don't have a conviction about it and you don't feel like it's a stumbling block for other people who know about it in your life, then yeah, I'm done.
Boom. That was kind of crazy, honestly.
Guys, I didn't English
Yeah.
that very well, but you know my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I
understand
think
you.
you Englished it fine.
You Englished
Okay.
it very well.
Hooray!
Englishing.
Our Englishing is
Englishing
fire.
is hard today.
So, like, what's our next miracle?
That's a good question.
Slash
Very good
not
question.
terrible.
What is our next one?
I like the pig one. Can we talk about the pig one?
One where he
Is that a
does, like,
miracle?
where he, like,
Cast
Yeah,
out,
it's just
the
he
demons,
casts out
guys.
demons
Yeah.
into the pigs. Yeah.
That's a miracle, right?
that's a miracle,
well,
yeah.
he casts out
Or-
a demon.
Yeah.
So
It's
Yeah.
a miracle. Can we
Yeah,
talk
it's
about
a
the pig one?
Yeah.
you can't talk.
Yay!
Elijah really likes murdering
Why
hundreds
did-
of pigs.
You know what that's about.
Guys, the Bible literally says that pigs are unclean. Did you know that?
Yeah,
In
but then
Leviticus.
later it's like there's a vision that some guy had, I forgot who, and then God was like, now they're all free for you to eat, and it was like, oh, and they all got a basket or a net or something.
Yeah, that was.
He
Yeah,
was like,
that
everything is clean.
It's kind of wild.
Guys, that's what I picture visions being like. Oh, everything is clean.
Does anyone know where the pig miracle is at?
Where's the pig vegetable?
Matthew 8.
Matthew 8:28.
Elijah, just read it.
And when he came to the other side, to the country of the
Wow.
the Gadarenes, two demon-possessed men met him, coming out of the tombs, so fierce that no one could pass that way. And behold, they cried out, "What have you to do with us, O Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?" Now a herd of many pigs was feeding at some distance from them. And the demons begged him, saying, "If you cast us out, send us into that herd of pigs." And he said to them, "Go." So they came out and went into the pigs, and behold, the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the sea and drowned in the waters. Gosh. The herdsmen fled, and going into the city, they told everything, especially what had happened to the demon-possessed men. And behold, all the city came out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they begged him to leave their region.
Wow.
Weird. I did not know there were two demon-possessed men.
I thought there's
I thought
only
there was
one.
Wait.
Yeah.
I also only thought there was one.
What was the
Very
reference for
interesting.
that again?
Matthew
Matthew 8.
Matthew
28.
8:28. 28.
Wow.
Why did the people like beg him to leave their region? Because he
Because
just
they thought
cast
he
out.
was
a
scared of
witch.
him. He just like destroyed someone's entire livelihood by sending all their pigs into the water. Like that's probably how they made all their money. So they're probably kind of mad at him too.
No,
Like-
it was wild. It was a herd of
What?
wild
Oh, it
pigs.
was
That
That
is
is
wild.
true.
It
I
was a
guess.
I didn't catch that part.
It was a herd of wild pigs.
I was
Oh,
like,
okay. Wild
he just
pigs.
like sent someone's entire life into a ocean.
Jesus would do that.
That would be pretty funny.
Also, does anyone know where the country of Gadarenes is?
Dude, where
Is it in
Gadarenes.
Israel?
No.
Wait.
Or I'd probably pronouncing that wrong. I'm sorry.
Let me see, where
If
is
you
it?
know how to
Yeah,
pronounce.
Dareens. It's Gerd. Okay, you can tell me where.
If you're some kind of Bible scholar and listening to this podcast, I am very sorry right now. We're probably butchering these names.
We're probably butchering a lot of stuff. You
Yeah.
know what? We do our best.
We do our best. So, where's it at?
On the
Elise, what's
eastern
it?
shore of the Sea of Galilee.
Ooh. Okay, so he's close to home.
Wait, that's Wikipedia.
We don't trust
I'm
Wikipedia.
sure it's reliable
On
enough
the
for
east
that.
of
Yeah.
the Sea of Galilee and the
That's
Jordan
Wikipedia.
River.
You just said the same thing, Elise.
No, that's AI. And on the Jordan River, not Gordon.
So he is pretty close to home, right? He lived in Galilee.
So, like, where's Galilee? Is it in Israel?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Israel.
It was kind
Yeah,
of like a
Israel,
religion.
but like,
I
okay.
said Israel. In the very
Interessante.
beginning. I'm really smart. Definitely not because he was in
Shut
Israel.
up, Spanish nerd.
Okay, one last thing about this miracle that I want to say, and then I'll be quiet because I've been talking about it a lot. So
It's okay. We like it when Elijah
You're the
talks.
only one who's walked in right now.
Yeah.
they're like the demons are like,
Afraid?
have you come to torment us before the time?
Oh, no.
So like, that's kind of interesting. Like,
I assume they're talking about like the end times.
yeah, the end
that
times.
they talk about in Revelation.
Yeah,
Which-
but like,
Yeah.
so like, I don't really want to get into that, but
Yeah.
it
No,
is
that would be,
interesting
a whole
because
other
like,
podcast.
yeah,
I don't know about it, but like, I don't know if end times it really talked about during that time because it was about the Messiah. The Messiah is coming, not the end times. Like, obviously now the Messiah has already come, so the end times are kind of what we're focused on. Not what we're focused on, but it's
Yeah.
like the next big thing that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's
it's cool because the demons are like,
Yeah.
they're not like, have you come to cast us out before the Messiah comes? It's before the end times, meaning that
Yeah.
they are recognizing that he is the Messiah,
Yes.
which is cool because like they're demons, so they give authority. They like Jesus has authority over the demons, like even though they don't like him.
Even the demons know.
Guys, can I
Believe
read,
and they
can I read a
tremble.
verse?
Yeah. What?
It's James 19. And it's just like the second part of it. It says, even the demons believe and shudder, which I just think is so cool because, like, even they're afraid of him. And, like, we're afraid of, like, Satan sometimes and, like, the things that he does. But, like, even he's afraid of God.
Yeah.
which is
Hey
just,
guys,
like,
are you ready
insane.
to ponder on something really big and profound?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
you know how like everyone's always like, "Well, I don't believe in Jesus." You know, like a lot of people say that all the time.
Yep.
So like, why does no one ever question the existence of Satan?
Well, people do.
Do they?
I think so. They don't
I
believe
I
in
think
it's-
some
they
people
don't
just
believe in
think
spirit.
that neither of them exist.
Some people are just atheists, so they're
that's
like,
atheist.
the world doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Yeah.
spiritual world doesn't
Okay,
exist.
well, I feel like they still believe in an afterlife, though, and so they still
No.
believe
Some people just
They
think
just
that
think that
it's
they, like,
done.
they're just
Yeah,
Some
that's why
people-
they, like,
Some people think it's reincarnation.
quote unquote live life to the
Okay,
full.
well,
cows live life to the fullest at the moment.
What?
No, I get where you're going. I know where you're
It's like
going.
it's
we
like
don't-
Hinduism
okay, I'm
or
sorry,
something,
you're gonna have
right?
to cut this out.
But like that's Hinduism, right, with the cows and stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. It's
wait,
either that
who
or
like
Islam.
really like
It's
cows.
Hinduism.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's because they
Hinduism.
think they're like the best thing to come back as in
Yeah. Because
reincarnation.
they believe in
Anyway, we'll get to that in a
reincarnation.
future episode
Yes,
when we're
we
gonna
will.
like talk about.
Yeah, that and end
Religions.
times.
Yes.
We need to talk about
yes.
end times.
We have many topics we need to talk about.
Okay, so there's just like a lot of miracles or vegetables or whatever you want to call them that we could talk about.
Call them vegetables.
Okay, there's a lot of miracles that we could talk about because Jesus did like a ton. I don't know how many. At least you should look that up. He did like a ton of them, and then there are also ones in like the Old Testament stuff. So we just did like 2 that we like. So there might be future episodes where we do more. Who knows? But we'd just like to wrap it up with a question. The question is everyone listening?
I am listening.
37.
37.
37 what?
Miracles.
So there's
37 miracles that Jesus
37
performed.
37 recorded
Every-
miracles?
Recorded. See,
Recorded.
that's the
Recorded.
thing. They're probably not all recorded because he did a ton. Plus ones from the Old
Interesting.
Testament,
They're all,
like the
all
one
of
where
these websites
fire
are saying
came down
30.
from heaven.
All
Yeah.
of these websites are saying 37 to like 40. So
Yeah, well, that's just probably like the recorded ones.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's still like a ton.
that is
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot.
Like, bro, there's proof that he's God. Anyway, okay, so the question that we have is, guys, why don't miracles happen as frequently today as they did in the Bible? Or do they?
Oh.
Wow.
I feel like you overplayed that reaction a little bit.
Maybe I did exaggerate that just a little bit, but it's okay.
But it's okay.
It's God. You can't over God.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was so profound.
Yep.
Think about
All
it.
right, I'm done talking now.
Hey, why is
Yeah.
that light on?
Okay.
Turn it on.
We can talk about
God.
that.
Guys.
Thank you. I didn't want to get up. Anyways.
Okay, guys. So,
why do miracles not happen now?
like,
feel like-
or like, do we just like not see them as much, or we just?
I don't know.
I feel like miracles do like definitely still happen, and maybe we just like just don't hear about them as much. Like, I feel like I hear about miracles a lot.
I mean, there are like the miracles
what
that
a-
are like
do you
the
have,
people
like,
who
example?
have like
Well, like
2% chance of living, and then like some family members like,
yeah,
God, please let them stay here longer with us, and then they make it through surgery, and then they're fine. And then
yeah.
they're
Like, I feel like miracles
Jesus.
like that happen all the time. Like, I just watched a movie the other day, and there was like this girl, and she like this little girl who had like this. I think it was like cancer or something, and I'm not sure. I also don't remember what the movie was. And she like wasn't gonna live. Like, yeah, she was basically just gonna die. And then something like bad happened to her. She like got in an accident, but then whenever so it like seemed terrible, but then after she recovered from the accident, she didn't have like any cancer or whatever anymore. Like, it was totally cured, and it was like
Was
a
this
complete
true
miracle.
story or based on?
True story.
Oh, that's cool.
I feel like the reason we
Two
might not
sides of
hear
movies.
about it as much. I feel like they still happen, but we might not hear it as much just because.
The government. Sorry.
Please stop with the conspiracy theories.
I
But
play-
just because like atheists, which are a lot of people today, just kind of suppress it and are like, oh, that's just coincidence. That didn't actually happen.
I feel like we're
So
also
that
not,
might be why we don't hear it as much.
yeah, like not as like open to it maybe.
Hmm.
Or like in the Bible, it's literally just like recorded there, and we just like read about it. But then like I feel like sometimes we don't notice it in like our everyday lives.
Because I mean, a lot of it could be miracles today. Could be different. 'Cause, Like,
it's not like Jesus reaching at his hand and being like, oh.
yeah,
It's just like it
it's like
happens.
it's like you were
Should
sick
imagine
and then
something
you got
else.
better. Like, you were really sick or something, and then you got
Yeah.
better like overnight, or like, I don't know, you got a raise at work or something when you weren't expecting it, or like something important happens that you weren't expecting. Like, even that in itself is a miracle.
Hey, which person at our church talked recently about how they needed like a certain amount of money? It was Adam.
Yeah.
That's our pastor, Adam. He was like, so we were in debt a while back when like we didn't live here, and then I was taking a class in college where we had to go out and we had to minister, and I was sent to a church. And throughout the week that I was sent like to minister, then they all raised money, and I didn't know what they were raising the money about. And then at the end of the week, they gave me a check full of money, and it had the exact amount that I needed to pay off the debt.
Yeah.
And I
This
was
isn't
like,
Elise needing
and I
to
was
pay
like-
off debt.
Yeah,
our
this is-
pastor.
this is my
pastor.
yeah. I was being Adam,
Yeah.
but I'm not.
But yeah, it's
Because
And
it was
honestly-
Jesus working through the church.
Yeah.
And now he's a pastor.
And if you think
Yeah.
about it, like literally every time a baby is born, that's a miracle.
yeah.
And like stuff like that. Even those things that are just like
Well, I feel
they
like-
just happen and like they're
Everyday
just part of
miracles.
life.
Mhm.
But like the miracle of life. Like literally.
I mean, yeah.
The circle of life.
That's not what I said. You know, it ends in "ol" too though, so
So I guess to answer the question, miracles do happen, but we just don't necessarily always see them as a miracle. We just see
Yeah.
them
Yes.
as normal.
yeah. Or
Boom.
like that even comes back to the thing where like a lot of times people like will pray for something and then like it'll happen, but then they forget to thank God
Yeah.
for that. Like I'm guilty of that too. Like sometimes I'll be praying
Yeah.
like a lot for for something, and then like it'll happen, and it'll be like a month later. I'm like, oh, I forgot to thank you for that. And so like, yeah. Anyway,
Cool
Are we done?
beans.
Good.
I feel like that's not what the question was asking about.
okay.
I feel like it was asking about like Jesus type miracles, like turning water into wine
Well,
or feeding the
that's-
5,000.
Well, Jesus does not-
Jesus
Well,
is
I know,
In
but
the
like Jesus
human
works
form on
well,
Earth.
I know, but like Jesus still worked through people in the Bible to do big miracles like that.
Yeah.
But like that's like, is that stuff still happening?
He still works through people to perform
he
miracles.
works through people, but it's not I don't.
It's not in the
That's
same
where
way.
it's not in the same way. 'Cause, like, this is a different.
Yeah, our
this is a
culture
different
is
time.
different.
Yeah.
Different cultures need different things. You know.
I think someone would be really freaked out if they went to get water from their fridge and it was wine.
I feel like somebody would also be really freaked out if a person walked up to them and prayed for them, and then they like had a fat stack of money just on the ground in front of them, out of nowhere.
Well,
That'd
they
be cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
I wouldn't mind that.
Whoa! Or like they change the weather like on a whim, like.
I just feel like, yeah, it is different because then, like, Jesus was in the human form walking on the earth.
That's
and,
also
like,
true. Yeah.
he still is with us on earth, just not, like, in his Jesus form.
Not
Yeah,
in
but
the
like
human
even
form.
when Jesus was
Or his
gone,
Jesus form.
and like
Well,
before
Jesus-
he
That was
was
his
there,
human name.
there were big miracles. Like when the disciples spoke all of the languages at one time. Like that was a miracle without Jesus being there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
But like,
Yeah.
I feel like
it's because they needed that. God needed that to happen.
Well, that goes back to our definition. It's anything that furthers the kingdom of God.
Heaven or God. Yeah.
Well, not like anything, but like, you know,
Well,
that's
yeah.
the purpose of it, to further the kingdom of God. So,
So I think that's where we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks for coming and listening to the podcast, and we'll see you next week, probably. Yeah.
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 Okay.
hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hopefully,
back.
we'll see you next week.
Yep. All right.
Adios, amigos.
Bye.
Okay. I like that. See ya.
bye.